Charlotte is sobbing. I can hear it. I can hear it in the hall now. It is breaking down, crying.
It turns out that Attila, the arrogant so-and-so, he's got a fake hammer.
Oh, a fake?
Yeah.
Whoa. As I say, dick.
Welcome to episode 98 of the Early Legions podcast. We're getting a little one more step closer to 100. So in 2 weeks' time, we should be episode 100. So let's see what happens between now and then. The year has kicked off at an unbelievable pace, especially for Mythics. Just every day there seems to be news. There seems to be something going on. There's a sale. There's all sorts. But first of all, how are you, Mal?
I am all good, thank you. Back at work and already wishing I was on holiday again. So, yeah. It's all going, but
it's freezing. It's freezing cold everywhere. Yeah. And you, Rich?
I'm good. Yeah, well, I say I'm good. I'm not good. My back is shot to pieces. But other than that, I'm good. But I had a deep tissue massage yesterday, which I think has helped a little bit. But I'm feeling quite sore today. Basically, I was beaten up by a man bigger than me, basically. So he was like 6'5", and he was like towering over me, and then just pummeled me.
Yes, the thing about getting older, it's more the recovery time than, we can all do, something that we could maybe do when we were younger, but the recovery time afterwards.
Yeah, but it definitely helped, and I'm back again next week for a second session sort of thing. So.
Very good. Well, listeners, I'm under instructions to get this done as efficiently as possible, so Rich doesn't have to sit there suffering in pain with his back. So if you're left wanting more at the end of this, then you can just blame Rich.
Most people do for everything. That's absolutely fine. I mean, in fairness, I'm to blame for a lot of it, but that's neither here nor there.
So that's a different story.
That's neither here nor there. Exactly. Yeah. So we had, what did we have? A lot going on. So the first thing was Reign of the Beast pre-order is over. What did you guys order? Did you go for the all-in, Mal, at the Horseman?
Yeah, just an all-in from Store Horseman with the intention of maybe getting another all-in from Emporium of Cool. But I haven't done that just yet because money keeps going out quicker than it's coming in at this point.
Yes, I feel your pain. I think any Legions fan, so basically anyone listening to this is going to be feeling your pain right about now. They're definitely, I guess they're trying to I'm presuming they're trying to tee up the year and knowing that we're going to get Drecronominus coming in soon, and it's going to be getting busy with all that kind of stuff. And you, Rich, what did you go for with the Reign of the Beast?
I didn't order anything. I will order it from Emporium of Cool at some point.
So you're doing a retailer order? Yeah.
Now is not that point though. I only put my order in for Ashes of Akbendor like last week. So
okay.
So I'm got the Ox Crew Wave 4 to put in at some point, and then Reign of the Beast. So.
Wow. And what's your intention though? Would it be to get all the figures from it, or?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. It's an absolute gimme all in. I may get one or two more snakes. You know me, I'm hit and miss with snake men, but there might be a couple of extra snake men possibly included as well.
Well, the thing is, when doing it with that tactic, you actually are maybe better informed because you might know if there's going to be, I don't know, different types of snakes already coming at that point, and maybe you don't need to get an extra Royal Guard because you like the whatever other. Or if there's lizard men, you just don't bother ordering and you go straight to the lizard men, huh?
Yeah. Fingers crossed as lizards, man. Bring them.
There's a lot of people. I've been in a few chats recently where a lot of people seem to be definitely positive on lizard men. So, you're not alone. You're not banging the drum.
No, it'd be a no-brainer moneymaker for the Horsemen. I think they know that as well. So we'll see them at some point, definitely.
Yeah, and then I went for an all-in at the Horsemen, just like Mal. Pretty simple. Shipping was pretty decent, and the size of the all-in is not that bad considering it's a G-Con wave. So, would have probably had to lay down almost double what we laid down this time. So, now that's not to say that there isn't other asks on our wallets. So, and of course we have the scepter of this dragon looming right above us and our wallets. It's just hanging there and dangling there, and actually been, as we talked about before, been slightly delayed in terms of the pre-order, and we are starting to see why with the news that's coming out. So the first thing we had this Monday was the in-stock sale. So it was for the Legions Con stuff, basically, and then a bunch of other surprise stuff that wasn't exactly a surprise because they had put up a banner picture and picture on the website of a lot of the mystery box figures, the ones that they did. So if I just put up on for us on the screen here, and for watchers on YouTube, go over there and subscribe. Even if you don't watch on YouTube, go subscribe. You know, Purple Gang got to 1,000. We're nowhere near that. So, you know, do you like them more than us? That's my question. That's my question for you. Also, if your significant other doesn't care about us, has YouTube on her phone, just go on anyway and subscribe. You know,
make a subscribe, yeah. Or then,
yeah. If you have teen,
I can't get
YouTube,
my wife or daughter to subscribe. So,
Rich, that is.
I'm trying, but they're like, no, we don't know our algorithm's messed up. It's like, brilliant.
Yeah,
Thanks,
we actually lost. I saw. I was checking the YouTube Studio thing today, and we actually lost a subscriber this week. So it's been going good. Whatever we said on that live stream. It's your quiz. It's your quiz. It's your fault.
I think I was too offensive doing that quiz, but yeah, I'll take the blame. That's fine. That said,
That's
you know,
fine.
I get blamed for everything quite often. It is my fault.
Exactly. But you know what? Of the subscribers we have, most of them watch it, which is, I think, a good ratio, because usually that's not the case. So we see here, there's a lot of stuff still left there. And Rich, we were trying to talk you off the cliff from the armor there yesterday after we'd put in an order. So,
I was going to say, for now, you've managed. I have not gone back and placed another order after the first day of order. Whether I'll be able to continue managing, I don't know. But
it's funny because I keep having moments where I'm like, oh, maybe I should get another one of them.
Well, maybe we should set the stall out first by what we actually ordered. How about you, Mal? What did you go for?
Mine's the quickest, easiest, and shortest one. I went with the Red Evil Armory Knight, the what are they calling it? The red leather armor, and a Red Shield Soldier, because I've still never gotten a Red Shield Soldier, so I thought I'd just sort of stuff it. I'll get that.
That was a little surprising. I didn't realize that was a mystery box, but now that I think of it, it was. I went for. So, Rich, your order is complicated, of course, because it's your order. So, I went for 2 Test Heavy Gunner. I had forgotten to get them when I did the order for the sale last year. No, I had got some. I had got some heavy gunners, but then I ordered some figures when they had stuff in stock, and I forgot to get some heavy gunners. So,
but obviously at Legions Con, John, you managed to pick some heavy guns.
No, I also forgot. I think I just mentally bought them, so I forgot. Then I forgot to buy them. So I already put them in the cart before the sale, so that because I thought that stuff like the Ninian Infantry would go very quickly, especially, and he did eventually sell out within the day. He was basically sold out just after they lifted the limits 24 hours later. I got 2 more dice, D20, because they're just cool, and now I can have a couple of those on top of the, was it 1 or 2 I got at Legions Con? Maybe 2. I got 3 Ninian Infantry, that was the limit. I got a gunmetal armory knight. That was the one I'd maybe spoken about before, that I saw in someone's backpack going out of the armory, and I was like, damn, I should have got one of them, and still didn't. And then when I went to get it at the Legions Con, it was gone. I got a gas bar mainly for the wrist wraps and the ankle wraps. I got 2 Tusk Experiment CC24, so that's the Novian Lean Tusk. He's just awesome, really awesome. And I got 1 Red Evil Armor Knight, because remember, I didn't get the Red Knight torso in all my stuff. I have all the Red Knight parts except the torso. So I wanted 1 fully armored Red Knight. So he's going to be it now. So I can maybe reuse the other parts for different stuff that I have left over. I got a Gorich then as well, just for parts as well. Not particularly, don't need an extra of that figure, but had good parts. So that's what I got. So Rich, what did you get?
What didn't I? No. For me, this was a relatively calm order. It was only 15 figures. So I got red evil armor, armor knight. I got the red armor with the red leather as well from that. They can be part of a little 3-figure group that I'm going to have in my display because I got one for Legions Con as well. I got a purple evil knight. I've got one of those already. Different helmet, but basically pretty much the same build. I got a Legions Con, so I've got plans for those two now in the Order of Aetheron. And I got a green heroic knight.
Evil in the Order of Aetheron.
Not evil. They're going to be like anti-hero Order of Aetheron sort of figures. Yeah. So they're still doing good, but people aren't quite convinced about them. And a green heroic knight who's going to be my like green knight character sort of thing. So probably a Tree Man head on or something like that.
Yeah, that's a cool one. Okay.
I got two Garrich because, like you, John, they're just good for parts, so no particular plans, but just a couple of those. I got 3 of the Cosmic Magnus, the AA20. One I've got a plan for. The other 2, I'm sure I'll find plans for. But it's that I love the Novian Lean setup, so it's like that, but more military and darker. So that's good. Unfortunately, I came up with a really brilliant idea about how I'd use the CC24 figure, so I ended up buying 5 of those. That's one cosmic affiliation that's basically going to be filled out with those. Yeah,
and you get extra feet with him, so that's a bonus. Yeah, and you get Spexian feet. So
yeah. So the slug head that you painted for me, John, that will be going on.
That's a perfect one.
Yeah. And then there's 4 others that I'm going to use for. Do you remember? You guys remember the cybernetic sea creatures I got? From Borderland Horde. Then they're going to go on the other ones. So and then I got a Tusk Heavy Gunner because I had 2 of them upstairs, which I'm not really using for anything at the moment. And then I had an inspired idea about how I could use them, but I needed 3, so I bought another one.
Cool.
And then I had the fun and games of having done the checking about shipping and import tax and that sort of stuff. It worked out cheaper for me to order them in groups of 3, so I put 5 orders through. Which is crazy, but it's a cheaper way of doing it. It saved myself about 70 quid. So, well worth it. Unfortunately,
So I'm shocked that, you didn't get it like a credit card kind of flag for all these repeat orders at the same shop. It does look dodgy. If I was, I used to work in a bank, and if I saw transactions like that, I would be like, no, they're too small generally to be flagged up. But still.
And yes, and for some reason, when I was putting the order through, it kept defaulting to my mum's address. I've no idea why. So one of the sets of 3 is off to my mum when it gets posted out. So I need to let her know that.
She loved that. What was she getting?
She's getting 3 of the CC24s.
Okay, so she'd be annoyed. She's like, what? Why didn't I get 3 different ones?
Yeah, where the multicolored knights you were talking about? What the hell's going on?
Yeah, I tell you that the AA20 Tusk, I was going to get more of him, and then I realized I have a lot of Novian leans that I got last year, and I was only going to be painting them up anyway, so I can just use those. So it saved me the hassle. But it's a great figure and stuff, and I got 2 at Legions Con, so I'm going to use those probably in my own collection. Right, and did you see the only one that didn't sell out of the
shock horror
is Hagnon of the mystery box?
Wrong. Hagnon's awesome.
He's awesome, and he was awesome back in Advent of Decay, but we didn't need a second one, or at least most of us probably didn't need a second one, and we didn't need him to be probably remade either.
For anyone listening, the views in John and Mal are not the total views of the Euro Legions podcast. I don't like him.
I'm kind of in the middle. I'm in the middle a bit. You are totally on the one end, and Mal is totally on the other. So yeah. And the dice is also sold out now. So
See, I didn't have a dice. I forgot to pick one up at Legions Con when they were giving them out for free. And then because I'm a grumpy so-and-so, I was like, I'm not paying money for something I could have got for free. No. So
I was going to give you one now, but if you're that way, I'm like, why should I pay for one and then give it to him? Because he's too principled.
He's too cheap to pay.
Yeah. Anyway,
cheap.
That was
Thanks, Mal.
That was the
I like
in-stock
John's
sale.
principle thing better.
Yeah. That was the in-stock sale. Just to say quickly on the Reign of the Beasts pre-order, the retailer pricing is up as well. So Leodicius is now 100, which is $100, or the euro equivalent, or you just convert that dollars into 100 British pounds, whatever FX rate that is. It's not the right one.
So it's equivalent $127 or something at the moment.
So they do a little FX. It's like PayPal almost. They just eat all your transaction in foreign charges. So that's I suppose that's the markup to expect, really. But it's just you don't think about it. You know the markup for the standard figures, so you just think, okay, the 40 is it $37/$40 figures are now 50, and the deluxe ones are 55. So that's Basilian, the Royal Guard. And Arya, who was another $5 more expensive on the pre-order, is 60 because she has the little mini dragon, I think. So that's what made her a bit more expensive. And the Genom, he would have been like the equivalent of Ogre pricing, and he's now $75 on the so that's, it's about it's 72 euros. The $50 figures are 48 euros. So yeah, as to be expected. And I think the all-in I saw was about 420 odd euros, and I think you're 420 something pounds, was it, from Emporium? Yeah. So so it would have been a good saving, I think, probably on if you order direct on the pre-order.
How much was the all-in? Sorry, John, you broke up there.
The all-in was 428 euros, and I think probably 420 pounds.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and the all-in direct from the Horseman was 325, I remember, Mal, plus shipping, which was still less than 400.
Yeah.
It's probably about the same then.
I think I worked. I can't remember off the top of my head now, but I tried to work it out roughly what it would be, and I thought it might be 415, the all-in the UK, which I think would have been about £30 more in total once you factored in shipping and taxes and everything else. So, yeah, not much of a difference.
The big benefit for me now is that it's paid for, and that we'll get it a little bit earlier than the retailers for the show purposes, which is really useful for, we don't want to be reviewing the figures 6 months after they come out.
Now you tell me that.
You can give us your impressions 6 months after they come out.
There we go.
So yeah, that's that.
I'll tell you what, guys, we could do a new episode so we can have you guys reviewing the figures, and then we can have a review version 2 3 months later when I get them.
Yeah,
and then I can give my take on them.
Rich's reviews. There's a Patreon series.
Oh, Rich's reviews. There we go. Get you started something now, John. I could do all sorts of stuff. Rich's reviews.
Here's something that came out 6 months ago. It's a banana sellotaped to a wall.
Yeah. Be like, here's a list of people that said they love this figure. I've looked at it. It's okay, but no better. So you're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're.
Yeah. Look at this post. Look at what Dorclair said about this figure. Right. Let's get on to some other stuff, some other news that was revealed. So, Four Horsemen Studios is excited to be returned to Georgia for the 3rd year in a row, and introducing this is to Toylanta, and they're introducing their first ever show figure, ATL25. And they said they decided to develop a special release for Toylanta. We knew we wanted it to be something different from our current Legions lines. So this is not a Cosmic Legion, it's not a Mythic Legion. It's in the same kind of category as the Mistros and
Yeah. It's its own thing.
Skullman, or what's it? Yeah, Skullman. So it's an artillery team leader, codenamed ATL 25. So ATL is for Atlanta 25, 2025. It's not a homage to any particular character, although I think we have definitely the feeling that it looks like Roadblock from G.I. Joe.
There's a tad similarity there.
Yeah. So the show version will make its debut on the 28th of March to the 30th of March at Toylanta. And the figure comes, we'll show what the figure comes with now in the next couple of slides. And there's going to be an exclusive third head, a stun baton, and a riot shield. And these are exclusive to the con. And these are the bits that Mal really wants. Really likes, of course.
Typically, this is.
They seem to know exactly what you want and always make it an exclusive. It's the same with the translucent stuff.
Yeah.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
I just gonna have to live with the fact that I can't get it, aren't I?
Yeah.
Well, we know lots of nice members of the Cabal, don't we? So I'm sure
I know, but it's extra stuff for them to do, isn't it? So.
That's true. Yeah, well, yeah, but I'm sure everyone that's not going is looking for it. So
it's the shield more than anything. The baton
Yeah.
and the extra head, not so fussed about. It's that shield. It looks so cool.
Yeah. But I think even with Demistros, it wasn't that hard to get the translucent head in the end. So we'll see. So it'll be sold directly by the Toylanta team, not the Four Horsemen. And they say they'll have lots of other legions for sale at that show. So, you should still hit them up, of course. And the standard version of this guy will be available as Four Horsemen later in the year. So if you want more details on how to get, I think this is, if you get a VIP ticket for Toylanta, you can already order with the figure, but you can also get the figure at the table there in Toylanta, the Toylanta table at the Toylanta. So awesome shot here from Trevor, kind of an action shot in a kind of jungle scene. Looks like a scene out of Predator or something like this. First Predator, obviously.
I was going to say, that looks nothing like LA than the second one. What the hell?
First one in the jungle. So he's awesome. What do you guys think of this guy? Mal? You're on mute, sorry.
I think he's awesome. I absolutely love him. I think the camo paint app is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, the camo,
and I like the fact.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's realistically along with the heavy gun, the bit that everyone goes, "Oh, it's Roadblock," is the beard and the darker skin tone, and I just think, I mean, yeah. But that looks really, it's cool that we've got, in Cosmic, we've got that skin tone for the characters.
It's not Cosmic though.
No, he's not. He's actually, I mean, the way it was talked about, he's actually kind of just meant to be a military guy, but it works so well. I mean, you give him the helmet though, and it starts to be a bit more futuristic, doesn't it? And the gun's not quite.
But somebody said that there's no way that guy would wear sleeves, so it's a different character when it comes to the Cosmic guy. The Cosmic looking one with the helmet.
But yeah, I'll definitely buy in a bunch of these standard ones anyway. So yeah. I mean, it's always this case, I guess, with the exclusive parts. I'm fine with it because it's not anything with the main part of the figure. You don't. I always hate when maybe if it was like a certain colorway or something, if the something like that. So yeah,
accessories or an extra head. That's pretty cool. Rich, what do you think of it?
I absolutely hate it.
Really?
With a passion. And do you know why I hate it? Because
you want loads?
Because I want to get lots of them and make them colonial marines.
Yeah.
And I've sworn that Cosmerium would be human free, but now I desperately want to have colonial marines. So damn you, Four Horsemen. Yeah, so for that reason, I hate it. But I have been already looking at, human cosmic head sculpts and that sort of thing, and it's
Go on it.
yeah. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way that there's some sort of portal that throws them from one franchise to another. So they're not technically from Cosmerium, but they're in it.
A stroke of a pen, and that can all be solved.
Yeah. But the figure itself and the build is great. I love the camo paint they've done on it. Is superb.
Yes.
Yeah. The camo paint makes me want to do a custom now myself with the cloth parts where I do a different camo pattern, maybe with blue and brown and yellow or something. Instead of blue and black and yellow or something.
Different planets can have different colour foliage and that sort of thing potentially, aren't they?
Yeah, that's it.
It. And also if my version is rubbish, I never have to post a picture, so don't forget that. If you're customizing and you're like, oh, why does that guy always have such great pictures? It's because he only posts the good ones, like everybody else. And he has a big pile of ones that he's not happy with, just like you do. Right. This is the accessories. I always love the accessories shot. So you get the backpack as well, the Vorga backpack, with more awesome, a different paint scheme again. And the pauldrons. Those pauldrons are extremely versatile. I've painted them up recently for customs, and you just, once you paint them a different color, you don't seem to notice the repetition. Whereas we say like the evil pauldrons in Mythics, once they're on a couple of figures, they start to get repetitive. Whereas these, I feel, are so, I don't know if it's just that they're kind of an inoffensive kind of shape. They don't stand out. So you're not noticing them be kind of repeated once the color is different or on a different style figure. It's kind of cool. And we get a big gun, so
we do. And a camo painted gun is awesome as well.
Yeah.
Or that's not an exclusive pie, is it?
No.
The camo painted gun's awesome.
Yeah,
see, this is the problem.
That would have hurt now if it's the camo painted gun.
Yeah.
So this is
like that.
This guy. This is the exclusive. So the head. No, sorry. The head.
Just the shield in that picture is the exclusive.
In this picture is the shield, and then on the right side of the picture is the stuff. So it's the baton and the head. So
does he come with? He comes with
3
cloth camo arms and so
bare arms, yeah,
and bare arms, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. That's very cool. So he's a bit like
very good value as well.
Yeah.
Lee J a bit, yeah. Is it Lee J?
Yeah, and
armored and unarmored.
A shadow circle as well.
Oh yeah. Your man, figure of the year for many people. Fisher Rice.
Yeah.
Which affiliation's in, Mal?
Shadow Circle, the adventure. No. Oh, I don't know. I've already forgotten.
The unaffiliated citizens of Cosmerium.
That's affiliation. Right. Which affiliation? The unaffiliated.
Yeah.
Right. Let's click forward here to the book. So we got the Mythic Legions first 10 years. So this is not the lore book. This is the toy guide book. So think of, if you're a He-Man fan, think of that Pixel Dan book. One lovely clean page per figure with all the product photos, the bio, a little bit of trivia and lore behind the figures. And that's what this is. And it goes all the way up to the Ashes of Egbendor, I believe. So that's what it covers. So they say they're excited to announce the first 10 years book will be available to pre-order storehorseman.com on Monday, January the 13th. And it goes until February 2nd. And the book features 360 pages of images and information covering the first decade of the Mythic Legions line, with pages for every figure released during that span, along with character information, behind the scenes details on these toys. And the book will be offered at a special price of $49.99 until Sunday, February 2nd, which leads me to believe that when the book is out and maybe available at shows, it will not be $49.99.
Yes, it sounds like it, doesn't
it? Yeah.
Well, Jeremy did say it'll also be available at retailers, but yes, it will be more expensive at retailers.
Okay, it'll be at retailers.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see the shipping on it then and how that might work. That could be a clincher. Okay. Because it's pretty very expensive to ship a book abroad. So anyway,
Do they say when the book's coming out?
yeah, we get to there.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. But yeah, the book is coming, I think, by the end of the summer, he said. Yeah. It's just about ready to go to the printer, and it says it here. Shipped by the end of the summer 2025.
Oh, my eyesight's not good enough to spot that.
Yeah, no problem. And they said join Jeremy and Trevor Williams, who's Trevor was did a lot of the photography, or all of the photography work, I guess, on the book. And he was talking to Jeremy this week on the Mythic Conversations show on the YouTube channel Mythic Customs. So you've probably all watched that if you're watching this show, because he gets a lot more views than us on YouTube. So I'm pretty sure we don't need to cover exactly what they said about the book, but pretty cool. And it also comes with this awesome guy, which is the Silver Knight Legion Builder. And this will be offered for pre-order at the same time. So 13th of February, storehorseman.com. The Silver Knight is from the very first Mythic Legions release, was the last, or the lone remaining Legion Builder from that Kickstarter wave that we had yet to reissue. So they've done a updated release, and to go along with the book chronicling the first 10 years of the line. So it's a nice little bit of symmetry there, I suppose. So it's an update on the initial release. It uses the newest pieces from the parts library, including the Valiant Knight arms. So you get the possibility to do the two-handed sword, etc., etc. And it's a lot easier to articulate. And it comes with one head, but two different visors and two different plume options, which we'll have a look at in a second. And it comes with a shield with the horseman skull logo, which is why that would make me want as many as possible. It'll be $30, so that's a pretty good price for that, because even though it's a Legion Builder, it now has a lot more paint apps and a lot more stuff. And they'll also have a special 12-pack set for $325. So rather than writing it in the bio this time, that they're a group of 12, Jeremy just says, here is a group of 12 and you can buy it. So
the bio at the bottom, it says they often hang about in a box of 12. Case of 12, I suppose, isn't it?
Well, interesting enough, Mal, if you get your glasses on there, we do have a bio for this figure. It's a short enough one, but so I think we got it there.
I just thought maybe they come with a box of 12, so it takes 12 spears to hold a skeleton down.
One for each major joint.
What's it under? His Order of Aetheron. Is it under there on the site yet?
Should be our special release.
Silver Knight too. Yeah. Right. So, while the forces of Aetheros are most commonly known for the Order of the Templar Knights or the Holy Paladins and battle clerics who fight in the name of the Crowned Eagle, it is the vast ranks of Silver Knights who make up the front lines of the Order of Aetheron's army. Fearless soldiers who have taken a sacred oath to protect the realm, they're the first line of defence against the undead horrors pouring forth from the House of Blessed Bone.
There you go. So yeah, they are, and appropriately with the Trevor's awesome photography, they are basically first line of defence against the Skelly Wellies. So,
so they're the equivalent of cannon fodder then, basically.
Pretty much. So you need as many
that
as
way.
possible.
Yeah, 12 might not be enough, unless you want skeletons to win, of course. So here's a couple of shots. One of all the accessories, so you see all the bits you get there. That's the Sir Adalric helmet, I believe. So
I think you're right. Yes,
that faceplate. Yeah, it is. Yeah, definitely. That faceplate. It would be interchangeable, I suppose.
So you could turn one of them into a skeleton then, with that skeleton faceplate.
And also, that's a good one. Skeleton in disguise inside Aetheron.
Another one, Rich. Because I know that.
And I think Sir Andrew's the same helmet as well, so his face plate as well would also be interswappable. So if you got an extra Sir Andrew and wanted to use a different head and I'm like a custom head, then you could maybe repaint that little faceplate or something like that, or even just use the faceplate and have an extra Silver Knight dude. But yeah, a lot of cool stuff. Obviously, a cool belt, sword with the scabbard. And you also get the normal regular round attachment for the shield as well. So if you want to have one super charged up horseman, knight, and a couple of ranking guys behind him.
Well, Jeremy,
That's a really fun idea to do that.
Oh, Jeremy made the point that this armor color will match the Night Builder from, is it the blue?
Oh yeah, I asked the question on
the blue shield.
The blue shield. I asked him what silver is it closest to, and he said the blue shield. Because I was wondering,
you can use all the parts for the blue shield soldier with this one as well.
Which is good because I think you get a couple of the older helmets with that one as well.
Yeah.
So that's nice to be able to, make a throwback blue shield, Silver Knight.
Yeah.
So, very good. So that's him. They ship separately, and so the thing is, you'll get 2 shipping charges if you order them together with the book. So that will be interesting to see how that works out. But as it's a pre-order and not a kind of fastest finger in stock, we'll be able to, look and see. And if there's something really funny, we could of course reach out to them and say, "Is this really the way it is?" But let's just assume it's going to be similar pricing to what we normally expect. So the book is obviously the shipping pricing, which would be interesting because
it's not a heavy book, isn't it?
Well, yeah, and it's also just we're not used to buying books from them, so we don't know. They don't. I suppose they don't ship books, so.
It's size as well, isn't it? It's not just.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. If
they
currently ship a lot of stuff with, say, FedEx and whatever other services they use in America, maybe they have a dimensional deal instead of a by weight deal. So maybe as long as the size of the book is kind of like the size of 4 figures, then that's the shipping cost it's going to be. I don't know, something like that. So we'll see. Or we'll just have to do a group order of books, maybe if the shipping cost for, say, 3 books is similar to 1 book. We could do something like that. It's with a book, and then, surely I'll either be over in UK or, you guys can come visit, and I'm not shipping a book. Because that'll go over the 2 kilos, whatever the thing is.
Seriously.
So, couple of other interesting things. So I took a little sound clip from the show. So if we listen to this, just 30 seconds of Jeremy, and he's talking to Trevor. So you don't really hear Trevor saying anything, but you might hear Trevor in the background just agreeing with him or whatever. So we can just talk about this.
We have so much in the production queue when it comes to, Necronominus is already on the way. All-Star 6 has begun. As soon as they're done All-Star 6, we're very much looking that they're going right into Cosmic Legions after that. Mm-hmm. A figure like this, it just needs to find a place to get slotted in. We have so much going on at the factory right now that's one of the challenges, is just finding a place to slide in that production.
So he's talking about obviously the Silver Knight and where they'll get it in, but I think what I took from that is that they basically just have stuff going through the factory, a lot of stuff, and we're going to get a lot of stuff this year. So if we already think we're getting Necronominus and All-Star 6, it seems guaranteed they're the first 2 deliveries we're going to get this year of pre-ordered stuff, and then straight into Cosmic Ox Crew, Book 1. That's going to come probably summertime then. And then they said Ashes of Agbendor would be kind of 12 months after the pre-order or so. So they'd probably be trying to push that through as well at the same time. So
and
we're going to be swimming. Our awards show next year is going to be an absolute behemoth. We might have to do 2-parter.
Yeah. It's going to be good.
What do you think, Rich?
I'm very excited. I'm very happy that I paid for all this already. If this was all new, I mean, I'm obviously going to get multiples of some things, and I'll do that at retail or at Legions Con.
Yeah.
Presuming they don't sell out everything beforehand, sort of thing. So very excited.
Brilliant.
And obviously, I've got, my display room in my head is turned into the TARDIS, so it looks tiny, but actually, once you go in, there's endless display space. So I'll be fine to put all this stuff up.
Of course, yeah, that's how it works. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And you, Mal?
Yeah, very excited as well. Yeah, it's going to be display space that's going to be difficult. Maybe need to also start thinking about what can go and other lines as a few other people have done that I maybe don't need. But can't wait to get some of it. Some of it's taken the line to the next level. Some of it, isn't it? So can't wait to get it in hand.
Yeah, those sort of like bigger spacesuits. Cannot wait to get those.
Yeah. I saw a really interesting post from Dennis Derby, and Dennis is often I won't say trolling on the Cabal, but he's often poking people, for always advertising their shows, I suppose us as well, but on this kind of thing, or posting about too much stuff. He actually, in a kind of a serious post, said that he actually snoozes the Cabal on the time between when orders start to deliver. So like when Necronominus starts to arrive, until he gets his and starts to customize with it, because he doesn't want to see what other people are doing in their customs. Because he feels like he'll get influenced, or he'll get, say, he sees someone do a custom he's planned and say, oh, I don't want to do that now. So he'd rather stick to his, It's an interesting concept. I don't think we can do it because we do a show. So
yeah, I was going to say I'd have to snooze a Cabal for 3 months.
Yeah,
that's not really going to work.
You're not going to be able to keep up to date with the kind of stuff we want to know about. And I'm not talking about posting in the Cabal, because I actually don't think there's any point in posting the show in the Cabal, because nobody sees it or nobody clicks on it. So, and it's the same for most people that advertise their stuff. So I think people are more interested in either somebody posting something controversial or cool photos and customs, which I understand. I understand the latter anyway, for sure. And to an extent, the former, because it is fun. It's like watching a car crash.
Yeah.
Or the aftermath. It's you don't want to really see it, but you can't look away,
Like the in-stock, just immediately people were like, oh, but I wanted
but some of that
infantry. You had 24 hours.
Some of that was very stupid. Yeah, some of that was very stupid.
The Armory Knights are too expensive. No, they're not.
No.
It's just ridiculous.
We agreed that we were sad they weren't 60 after seeing those bottles.
Yeah.
We had to try and deal with Big Greg telling us what to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I only went in to buy 2. I came out with 8.
Yeah.
That's all Big Greg.
And we'd already spent $1.5 just to get there.
Yeah.
But anyway, right. So to round this episode out, and Save Rich is back, we got a couple of Patreon questions. So we're good for those guys, yeah?
Yep.
Right.
We had those, but yes. I can answer on the fly. That's fine.
Oh, yeah. I did tell you to have a look.
I know you did. Yeah. I completely forgot.
So, yeah. Hard luck then. The first one you're going to have to answer. So this is from Chris James. So he has a couple. What do each of you think we'll see this year? So in terms of stuff, I think Mal has an answer for that. We're going to do a predictions episode at some point.
Yeah. Or so to say, to elaborate. We're probably going to elaborate on that bit more in the predictions show.
Yeah.
But I've said already, I think we'll get more Ninians. I think we might get version 2 Urzok at this reveal at the same time as the Otho reveal for that Legends line. And I think we may also get, like the Silver Knight, when the lore book is revealed. I wonder if we'll get a figure offered alongside that as well.
That would be cool. Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
I suppose it depends. Maybe they're going to see how well the Silver Knight thing works now. So, order the Silver Knight. I also think, obviously, I think we're going to get Ox Crew Book 3 because I think that's been already
got that as well.
said.
Yeah.
And I do think that we will. Oh, it's gone out of my head. So sorry. I had it in my head and then it just went. Rich, anything?
Lizard men. I think we'll get lizard men. I've been saying that for the last 4 years, but I think we will get lizard men. Positive vibes are getting there.
I think we will. I definitely.
I think we might get robots with Cosmic as well, finally. I have a sneaky suspicion we might actually get a robot.
That would be cool. Yeah.
That's part of my answer for one of the other questions we get asked, or I get asked.
Any plans for Patreon this year? Yes, we do.
Yes.
So one thing I wanted to say is I definitely want to do something again like we did last year with the exclusive heads and stuff for LegionsCon, and maybe try and do it a bit earlier so we can get some out to more Patreons. So stick with us there on that one. Rich, what do you have planned?
So we have a series of short episodes. We still need to finalize the details of all this, John, but they're going to be called Rich's Randoms. And it will involve getting Patreon members.
Random people from the street.
Yes, just people No, they will involve Patreon.
Bristol High Street.
Yeah, it will involve our patrons, and it's going to be called Rich's Randoms. That's going to be fun to get all the details sorted.
Think a little bit like the interviews I did last year, except it's going to be
for 10 minutes about a movie or something, and then we can put that up.
And Mal, we definitely need to look into more lore, to do a little bit more lore stuff.
Yeah, I think there's a plan there, isn't there?
Yeah, and I think the lore book, we probably expected to maybe have it by now or sooner. Not that that's a problem, but so I think we were kind of thinking, okay, we leave some lore episodes for later to run to when that book came out. And as we've gone along, obviously, we didn't know about this 10 years book, so obviously that's cool, but that puts the lore book a bit further out. So we'll have to try and figure out what we need to do to do a couple more of those lore episodes, because they're cool, and also the lore readings or whatever. And of course, we can make up some fan lore, which is definitely an option. That could be definitely something to do. Just
I may know a guy.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely wanted to do something. My idea was more to do with, I was going to write some sort of a thing, but it's not going to be too wordy, as in I'm going to try and do a story, but there's going to be more to do with like sounds and stuff like that. There's going to be a basic narration over it, but then you get a lot of sounds to kind of bring you along with the story, and have it be kind of quite tense and scary and whatever, but let the sound do that, and with a little bit of narration. So I already had an idea for that, but I've never done anything like that before, so it'd be a learning curve for me. So it'd be fun though.
Could be fun for that.
Yeah, I got the idea a little bit from, that kind of the one I did on my own, the only lore one I did on my own, where it was the guy on the ship sending the communication back.
Yes,
and there was a lot of sound on that, as well as obviously he was doing the message. So that but that had an atmosphere to it that was quite cool. So, but I also had, the first thing that popped into my head was like someone being chased through a forest by like a demon or a skeleton or something, and trying to convey that in audio form would be it'll put you to sleep at night.
So be prepared for photos of John stood there with shoes on his hand as he stamps on something and gives it the old Foley soundtrack.
But yeah, exactly, yeah. And because I also want to learn more of that stuff, and that would be a good way to do it. Also, if anyone has a suggestion or a real wish for what would be cool for us to do as, say, an exclusive head for LegionsCon or something, shoot it at us now, especially if you're on the Patreon, and then we'll definitely try and incorporate something like that into it, because now is the time when we have a fresh slate for that kind of stuff. So, and we can put the Patreon money to good use for that kind of stuff, so,
yeah,
and then you get something back out of that as well. So, not that I'm sure most people like the heads this year, which was cool, but that was really our own what we wanted to do. So we're very and that's kind of the way we had to do it because of the time constraints. But now that people know what we did last year, they might say, oh, it'd be cool if those guys did. Or, I don't want to myself commission, but I'd love if somebody did a head, like whatever. So anyway, we better get moving. And Chris says also, is it Legions Con time yet?
Unfortunately, no.
Chris, I know you live in Florida, so the weather's. I mean, you don't always get good weather, but you definitely don't get as cold weather as we have now. So even just a bit warmer would be good for a start. Get the hotel for Legions Con booked. That's when I'll feel good. So, Rich, if Four Horsemen were to ask you to come up with a new character or even a new race, we have not seen it in Mythic Legions. What would be? I just know he's gonna. I laugh, Chris, because I know he's just gonna say lizards.
Well, yes. If a new race, it would be lizard men. But I've been thinking, in terms of a character, it wouldn't actually be a lizard man. I would want to see a new member of the Sons of the Red Stars, who is a werewolf. So a big hulking werewolf, whose Ilona's flock have hired to take out 2 or 3 named vampire characters in the brood. And obviously the werewolves
take out your faction.
Yes, basically. I've got an entire group of vampire hunters in my plans. So, I like the vampires, but I'd kill them as well. So this guy's got like a personal grudge sort of thing. So he happily takes the job. He's got all sorts of cool weapons and that sort of stuff. So that's what I'd like to see, Chris.
Is it no Sharkmen? No, it's probably number 2, is it?
That's for the next one. Yeah, that's like,
Yeah. Mal, what are you hoping to see come out in Cosmic Legions this year? Anything specific, particular your fancy?
As I say, you sort of said we'll definitely get Outpost Book 3. I hope we get more another Thraxian, maybe like a leader sort of character. So, it feels like the 2 we've gotten are very much like troops.
You could use the Kragner skin body parts and give it a lizardy head.
Yeah. See what they get. I've kind of hopefully we get a couple of characters that have got a few more robotic parts to them. That'd be cool. And I think we'll get a Motu tribute again in the next Cosmic Wave. Maybe not the next one, but either one or other of the Cosmic Waves. I think we'll get this year's Motu tribute.
Cool. Yeah, I look forward to that. We were thinking maybe Clawful.
Yeah,
maybe
Clawful.
Roboto.
I would love Clawful, one of my favourite characters.
Work.
Yeah. Let's speculate more down the line.
Yeah.
So, and then he says, John, do you prefer waffles over pancakes? I know what he's talking about there. I'm going to say I prefer waffles. The food, and leave it at that. What are your thoughts on the song Rattling Bog? I suppose if you've lived and grown up in Ireland, it's kind of a bit cliche, but you hear it a lot in the pubs. But yeah, it's a tune. And in all seriousness, do you have a Legion or even a Four Horsemen figures that you would love to either get back or have never owned before? So get back, no, because I didn't sell. I'm not rich. I did get a Rhaegar last year from Rich for doing painting for him. So that was definitely one ticked off the list that I would have gone back to get at a, not the crazy prices, but over retail. And
Chris also got Rhaegar off me, so dishing out the Rhaegars here.
Yeah. Sir Valgard would be the one for me because he's so hard to get and he's a dwarf and he's cool and just for what he is, but also he's a dwarf. Followed
we never
by,
talk about Sir Valgard, please.
Yeah. At least I didn't have the misfortune to do what you did. And there's also Thor Ironjaw. It's another good one. The dwarfs, the old dwarfs, so they would be sweet. Right. Ben Kostanovic then asked if we ever finished the lore episodes. I think we answered that one already. So we'd love to do more lore, and we will get around to it. I thought you still had work to do and go back on those, so we do definitely. Also, Jeremy just announced the pre-order for the 10-year book. You could definitely talk about that and the hauls from the in-stock sales. So I think we've addressed Ben's question.
We have pretty thoroughly.
Producer Ben, there you go. So he's like he did the episode outline this week. That was awesome. Kevin Boots then asked if you could make a figure, what would said figure be? So is that similar to what the question that you were asked, Rich, about?
No, I would make a shark warrior.
Oh, you would?
So with the fin...
Covering all the bases here, Kevin.
Yeah. The fin that goes into the rectangular hole on his back, huge big set of razor teeth, modified fins into hands and feet, all over that.
Awesome. I'd make a proper Robin Hood with all the soft goods, cloak, full new parts, kind of different, maybe a chest plate with more kind of looking like a kind of cloth, kind of tunic, but also then a big kind of Robin Hood cloak and a really cool hooded and unhooded head. Hooded head with the plastic hood, also with a cape with the cloth hood, and a couple of different head portraits, and a specific Robin Hood bow for him. Yeah, so that's what I'd like to make. Bunch of, I suppose most of the parts are there already, but I'd love a really, revisited Elf Ranger maybe in 1.0, but like as a Robin Hood. Yeah. Mal?
You see, I'm going to go with a 2.0 figure of some description, possibly female. Go with more cloth and leather parts. I know we're getting some of the cloth parts, but looking back, we're not. I know we are getting the full leather boots, but I don't think we're getting full leather gloves and all that. So just something that incorporated some new 2.0 parts. So partly also because I was looking at a goblin character I wanted to make, and you can't get all the I suppose that would be male though, that I was going to make 2.0 torsos. There's none that are just leather. Not 2.0. Yeah, 2.0 torso. There's no leather ones. The one that is used a lot as leather, actually, it's armor, isn't it? If you look, and all the straps and that, it's very armorish. Whereas something a bit more clothy would be quite cool, or that could pass as cloth would be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah.
I don't know what the character exactly would be. Maybe, again, a bit like your thing. The thing that always comes to mind that would be cool is something that could pass as like a battle, a fighting version of Red Riding Hood or something like that. One of those sorts of characters, with a crossbow or a bow and sword and a bit swashbuckly.
Yeah. 2-pack with my werewolf.
That'd be quite good, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Right, and then we got Archer Hawk from France, and he says, with the level up in the design of the figures, what is, according to each one of you, the best designed figure for Four Horsemen? And his answer is Scapular 2. So,
that's a question.
What do you think?
I'm going to go Kern Ray.
Kern Ray.
Because I think,
that is
we're starting to get those sort of steampunky parts, aren't we? And the helmet and the way that looks, and very organic. Well, not organic's not the right word, mechanical, but then with like the cloth parts. Yeah, I just think she's very cool, and then the coat as well. So, yeah.
Rich, what can you think of there?
I would go for Windargy the Cackler.
Oh wow!
I think the introduction of the fur body parts, that really forward-facing head, the extra articulation. Well, I'm not an articulation buff by any stretch of the imagination, but I'd say that one.
Yeah, I think that was fair.
Awesome. I mean, I could look at this from a almost nostalgia point of view, as you say, the kind of, it's got, they're obviously constantly improving. So just the look of the orcs originally got me, and the goblins for sure. But they are probably not my favorites these days. So it's, I mean, for the orcs, you'd have to say Vorthog is a kind of look at how the orc design has improved. So if I was to stick with the orcs, I'd say him, but probably the tuberculi, just for what they've managed to do with it, and we'll be talking about that in the next couple of weeks. And I mean, this is leaving behind all the Dark Four. You could, how can you go past like Poxus in this? But yeah, you have to make a choice. The Cosmic Legions, I mean, you know how much we love, for example, Novi and Lean, but now we've seen that build in a different figure, so you kind of go past it, but you have to think about the first time you saw something. I think Kern Ray is a really good one.
Perhaps Slog should be in there as well in terms of design, the little potato, just because it's such a fun design.
True, but I think if you're thinking Four Horsemen design, then I think Tuberculi is a good one for me. I'll stick with that. And then finally from Archer, we have: do you use a French word in your everyday life? Fun fact, I now say and voila with the accent of D amazing. And when I finish something, often enough, some of my friends says it in the same way now, even though they have never even seen a single video from D amazing. So I often use French words in a sarcastic, piss-taking way, because I suppose there's a lot of French-speaking people here who don't speak Luxembourgish or English, and then it's like annoying for me who doesn't speak French. But most people here are supposed to be able to understand French, so I will just say kind of ironic things. I also I love doing just to wind my wife up. She's fluent in French, but she doesn't like the language. She doesn't like speaking it because she doesn't. She sometimes has to think of words, and apparently for her that's like very annoying. I mean, when they learn so many languages growing up, I suppose you get like that. I'd be happy to be in that situation with the language. So I often do the Del Boy and say bienvenue for you're welcome, because bienvenue is welcome to somewhere, and s'il vous plaît is you're welcome. So I'll just give her something and say bienvenue, and she just looks. The first time she's like, "What? You know that's wrong." I said, "Yeah, but only fools and horses." And she goes, "Oh, Jesus, that."
Bienvenue, Rodney.
And then they have some. When I worked in the bank, there was a lot of really nice French people I worked with, and they had some phrases that they said all the time, and it would just get seeped into your brain. So, for example, like they say "je ne sais pas," which is I don't know, but they just say "je sais pas, je sais pas, je sais pas," like this, and they said it a lot just so that you wouldn't be annoying them. And that would kind of sneak into your vocabulary from time to time. So, I don't know. But you boys over there, I guess, other than French words that are in English, you wouldn't have much cause to...
No, the main thing here is ça va.
Oh, you say that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Holly does French at school. So, quite often it's a ça va bien, or, whatever. So, yeah.
Ça va bien, merci.
Yeah, we're at the really painful point now with the kids in the learning of French, because they've changed how they teach in schools here, and it's now become really difficult for the kids because they don't kind of rattle the vocabulary into them, and kind of they're supposed to do the vocabulary on their own at home, or and then at school they do more kind of things that are like supposed to be fun, like games and stuff like that, but it ends that the kids then can't make sentences and can't speak the language, and it was never done that way here. So my wife is like, finds it really difficult because she knows that they should be better at it, but they're not. And she gets really stressed because she's like, if they get to secondary school, they have to be able to make sentences and do little conversations. And yeah, I think it's not just our kids. We've kind of realized everyone is in a similar situation. But then there is a lot of families where maybe the husband or the wife is a French speaker. Like I'm an English speaker, you know, with my Luxembourgish wife. There might be Luxembourgish guy with the French wife. And those kids are grand then. They're in school just like feet up, you know. Okay, they have to learn German, so that might be hard for them. But the German is much more intense because that's the language that gets taught in. But then when they get to secondary school, it'll switch to French. And I'm afraid that my kid will lose a lot of the kind of maths that she's learned and stuff, that she's quite good at maths. But then if they switch it all to French, and she's like, yeah, I already do the maths in English in my head and then translate it into German or Luxembourgish. I'm like, okay. But I don't want to send them to an English speaking school because if they want to live here long term, then it's much better if they know all the languages. I mean, I get away with it now because I've moved here, but yeah, it's so it's a tricky one. But languages, you know, it's a tough one. Even I thought like it was when kids here first, oh, that's great. They're going to be fluent in 4 languages. Great. I didn't realize all the pain to get there, you know. And the English was the easy one because they speak it all the time to me, and they watch everything in the iPad or on TV in English because they just prefer it. And of course, because most content is more available in English. So, yeah.
Funnily enough, I don't say. Sorry, Rich, carry on.
No, I was going to say, when I was up in North Wales for Christmas, I was chatting to a friend of mine, and his partner, she works in the school I used to go to. She's a teacher there. And she was saying that now in that school, 75% of the lessons are in Welsh for all the kids.
Wow.
Now, I've never spoken Welsh enough to get through an entire lesson in it. And she was saying she knows somebody whose kids have gone there now. And they're like really struggling, you know, they're like being taught history in Welsh and like, but my Welsh isn't good enough to understand what's going on half the time. So
it's painful, but they'll get there. But it's just a question of they probably have to catch up then later down the line and stuff that they didn't understand at the time. But there is tools and stuff. There's just so many distractions now as well. You know, I understand, you know. My oldest is going to secondary school next year and she'll be getting a phone. You know, that's going to be a tough one.
Yes, it was painful giving mine a phone. We gave it last year of primary school and it was just like...
It's just because I don't think I'm able to deal with it, and I haven't had one all my life. I think I'm on the phone too much, so I can only imagine what they're going to be like, you know. And already, if they have a tablet, it's too much. Okay, this is becoming a parenting podcast. So it's time to,
I was gonna add.
Oh yeah, Mal. Yeah,
I don't say anything in French. I actually say something in German, and it goes back. I can't remember what the film was. It might be Born, but well, it's not nice. It's Shazer.
That's a good one, though. Yeah.
I know. I can't remember. I think it might be the first Matthew Bourne film, but the female
Jason
character
Bourne.
is Jason Bourne. Sorry
to be a.
No, you're right. The female character is in one of these films is German, and she's being dragged around, and just every scene.
The one
Shazer. You know?
It's the one where they're in. I think it's his love interest, isn't it?
The
one where
that it will be.
He's living in Paris. Yeah.
Right. And she just swears in every every scene, so it just stuck, and it was amusing at the time. So I just from that point on started to swear, you know.
Yeah.
Instead of saying crap, it was Shazer.
Awesome.
I've been known to say mate before now.
Have you boys been watching Traitors?
No, it's not something we watch.
No. We started to watch, so the 3rd series is out now on BBC. But we found the first series on something over here, so we started to watch the first one, and the kids love it. And my wife is interested now, and I find it quite good. It's a kind of a social experiment. It's very interesting. So yeah, we watch it as a family kind of every day.
I know,
if we have time.
Isn't one of them this year pretending to be Welsh?
I heard that. I haven't seen.
So she's putting on Welsh accent, even though she's not from London. It's just like, what the?
because because there was a Welsh lady in the first one who got quite far and did really well. So but how to keep it up? Yeah, you're really creating a rod for your own back.
You really are, yeah.
Anyway, one more thing. Jeremy did say that he doesn't have an episode next week, but that he has a very special episode on the 22nd of January, and it's going to be out of this world. And he said it to Trevor in the way that, every one of those words was supposed to have a meaning. So for Rich, what would you take from out of this world?
Got to be cosmic something.
But that's what Mal said first when we were talking about it beforehand. But I'm thinking infinite legions. Because I'm thinking out of this world might be out of the Legions world.
Oh, yeah. That would make sense.
So it could be that, because I'm not expecting something cosmic quite yet. But, of course, cosmic I'll take it. I love cosmic. Most of my customs at the moment are cosmic, so I'm loving it. Yeah, I'm going to make...
No, the infinite legions, that would make sense.
Yeah. I'm going to make a couple of cosmic Ninians when I get them.
Could they bring outer space men into Infinite Legions?
Yeah. They could, I suppose. Yeah, or I think they're doing Glyos though as well, so that Glyos figure. It'd be interesting to see how that... I mean, Glyos has definitely had an uptick in our circle of friends anyway. There's a lot of stuff. I think Pete McCarthy is doing his marketing manager job for Glyos.
Yeah.
So.
If only Jeremy DeWitt had told us about this Goliath stuff previously. Shame on him.
Selfish keeping it to himself.
Yeah, ridiculous.
All right, that's your lot for this week. Hope you enjoyed that. We'll be back next week with more. Let's see what comes. And enjoy your in-stock orders as you get them. Be fun to see what people do. Customs filling up their shelves, army building. That good stuff.
Stay safe out there, everybody, genuinely, with all the stuff that's going on with wildfires and massive snowstorms and a tiny bit of ice in the UK, which makes it look pretty lethal. So stay safe.
You're from Greenland. We're thinking of you.